Yo, what up with y'all? How y'all doing? Good to hear. Today is day 4 of 30 days. 30 NBA teams talk about their offseason, talk about their last season, talk about their next season, talk about their moves, all the above. And today is about the Boston Celtics, so let's jump right in. So after a dominant season last year, they made the playoffs, but they lose in the second round of the Knicks, right? And while losing to the Knicks, they lose their best player. And not just any best player, a top 5 player in the league in Jason Tatum. So this offseason, this season coming, provides a lot of things to look at, right? A lot of questions to be answered, a lot of players to be judged on if they want to stay around. This is just a year to figure out for the Celtics if what direction they want to be, you know? And they started off this offseason by making a couple trades. They traded Drew Holiday to the Blazers for Anthony Simons and 2 seconds. And then they trade Kristaps Porzingis to the Hawks in a 3-team deal and receive George Niang and I think a second. 2 trades that you don't like seeing happen, but 2 trades that might need to happen because of the salary cap. They were 2 expensive players that saved them quite a bit of money. And in the Drew Holiday trade, you get back Anthony Simons, someone who can score the ball, someone who can distract the defense and create an open shot for somebody else, which is ideal in a season without Jason Tatum. The Kristaps trade, you don't get the best value for Kristaps, but that trade is more about dumping off the contract than it is trying to bring in more talent. Now, it always sucks losing in the playoffs the year after you win the championship, but I don't think last season should be one that Celtics fans or the Celtics organization should be mad or upset about. It was still a good season. I mean, I think they won 61 games. That's a lot of games to win. And Tatum has made the playoffs every year of his career. So you know, as long as you have Tatum on the court, you're making the playoffs. That's why this season is maybe a step back season, right? Maybe a step back and look at the assets, look at the players we have, look at the young guys we have, look at what we can switch up, all that good stuff. Now in that, I think this is a make or break season for Jaylen Brown. There's already been rumors that he might get traded in this offseason. I doubt it, because why would they do that? Unless they get like a haul that they really can't say no to, I don't see him getting traded. However, if he has a slouch year, if he can't shoot the ball, if he can't finish at the rim, if he can't create for anybody else, it's going to be hard to keep him around, because it's not the most winning of players when it's just him. Because what if Tatum goes down to the playoffs? Then it's just Jaylen Brown. He can't lead that team. It also is a big year for guys like Peyton Pritchard and guys like Derek White. Peyton Pritchard has something to prove that he can be a starting point guard now. I think he will start because Drew is gone, but that might be Anthony Simons. I'm not too sure about the lineups yet. And Derek White has something to prove, just if he can score the ball like he has been. Because if he can be a consistent 22 point a night while Tatum's injured, that's either great value or a great second, third option for the Celtics. And he's already a lockdown defender, and so is Pritchard. So it's not like this team traded these 2 guys away and just depleted themselves. They're still a good team, right? They're still defensively oriented. They can still score the ball. The shooting might be a little bit down because Tatum's injured, because they don't have Drew Holiday, because they don't have Kristaps. Anthony Simons might be able to pick up some of the slack, but that's a lot of shooting to lose. But you kind of deal with that in this kind of season. It's a gap year. You're okay with everything being a little bit down as long as you can figure out some kinks with the players that you have. Now let's look at their draft. They had 3 picks. They took Hugo Gonzalez, a 6'6" guard. His comparison, according to the Bleacher Report, is Kuminga. He has lackluster shooting abilities and admirable defensive outlook. So coming in, not the most ideal offensive player, but defensively he can come in and make an impact. The second guy was Amari Williams. He's a 7-foot center. His comparison was Isaiah Hartenstein. He's got a 7'5" wingspan, and the mold of a dominant center. He was a 3-time CAA DPOY at Drexel. I don't know how good the competition was, but still, it's a pretty good accomplishment. And he should come in and have defensive impact immediately. And great potential for a 2-way player, right? Because if he can come in and do that, that would just be a replacement for Kristaps Porzingis. I doubt he shoots the ball the same way, but if he can just get in the paint and hit like a post shot, get tough layups, while also being a rim protector. That's really all you need in the league. Our third guy was Max Shulga. He's a 6'5" guard. His comparison is Ron Baker. He averaged 14 points in college from 40% from 3 across 2 seasons. He has the ability to create shots for himself and for others, which is, I don't know if you can really teach that. You can, but not everybody will understand, right? 'Cause it's kind of a big feat to be able to accomplish. To be able to create for yourself and create shots for others, that's a skill set that the best players in the league have. I'm not saying he's going to come in and just immediately tear up the league, but 40% from 3 over 2 seasons is pretty good. No, it's pretty good shooting. You can't ask for much more than that. So this year is also a great year to develop these young guys. I think this Amari Williams, the center, is a very intriguing prospect. If you can develop him the right way, he can be a great rotational player for you guys. Max Shulga as well. He can come in and if he can get the green light, he can just shoot away. That's how shooters get the best practice. They just shoot. Yeah, if they can develop these young guys, they look to have a good future. They don't have to break up too many players on this team. And then when Tatum comes back, he has these weapons around him that he can use to get back to the playoffs. Another thing about Anthony Simons, I don't know if he's a long-term player. He definitely could be. But this might just be a way to get off of Drew Holiday's contract and have some production this year. But they might just be hoping that he shows out balls, He shows up in hoops so they can get his value up, maybe. Trade him at the end of the season, trade him at the middle of the season before the trade deadline. I don't know what their plan is, but there's a chance that he's not, a long-term player. There's a chance that he is. We'll have to see on this season. About their lineup this season, let me go pull it up real quick. They signed Luka Garza, so I doubt he starts, but he might start. It's either him or Al Horford at the 5, because they don't really have a center on their lineup right now besides Xavier Tillman. Not the most ideal center to have. Now Luka Garza isn't really the best center. He's okay defensively and he can average 5.5 points a game. That's So I think this is a great opportunity for their center that they drafted to come in and maybe not start at the beginning, because you can't just throw in a rookie at starting position. That'd be too much on their plate. But not too far into the season, I'm sure he could come in and get some starting minutes, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes. This is a perfect season to get him some reps. Okay, get him some reps. He has the potential. But yeah, overall, this offseason has been dumping off contracts, looking at players they have, drafting players they could use in the future, just to see what they can make of it, what their skill pool looks, what their talent pool looks like, and how good this team really is without Jason Tatum on the floor. I still project him to make the playoffs, honestly. A low seed for sure, but because this East is just weak. But yeah, still a playoff team, I think. I wouldn't be shocked if they miss it. I can't lie. I'd be like, wow, that's kind of surprising. But I wouldn't be like, yeah, overall this offseason it's been okay. They obviously hasn't been ideal when you lose your star player and franchise player. They are linked to signing Dame, because he's got waived by the Bucks. So if they do that, that'd be an interesting pickup. He's also out with his Achilles torn, so he won't be back for a year. But when him and Tatum are healthy, they'll come back with Tatum and Damian Lillard. It's a pretty good lineup there. But yeah, still a playoff team. Still, a lot of questions to be answered. And we'll see if these players can answer these questions and do their stuff on the court. Yeah, that was my Celtics video. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned some. Like, subscribe, comment, all of the stuff. Yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.